A damning Anglicare report has found that renting in Australia has never been less affordable. Average rents have risen by 11% in the last year as the nation struggles with rising inflation. The report found that people, including single parents who rely on welfare support, are the hardest hit by the rental crisis.
Where we've really seen a drop this year is for someone on a minimum wage. So the rental crisis is actually climbing the income ladder.
Angela Finch is a single mum of three struggling to make rent, and she joins us now. Angela, how hard are things for you and your family right now?
The hardest it's been since July 2020, actually. That's when I became a single mother, and it's never been harder than right now. Extremely hard.
What's difficult about it? Give us a sense of what life's like for you.
It's the choice of rent or other bills. It's a choice of rent or rent. It's just one thing. Like when you're cutting essentials like medication and food, there's not much more to cut. And in the rental market that we're in, I can't afford where I live, but I can't afford to move either.
I mean, it's a horrible catch-22, and you've got little ones as well. I mean, I know it must be really hard for you, but how are the kids coping with this?
Not great. So I've got a 14-year-old, a 10-year-old and a 5-year-old. The 5-year-old you can protect. It's fairly easy to protect her. The 10-year-old and the 14-year-old, they're human beings. They're children. They're not stupid. They don't live outside of it. They can see what other families and what other kids, their peers are doing and can do, and how they get to participate in their community and how we don't. When your 10-year-old's regulating food or goes to get an apple and then looks at the bowl and puts it back because she knows she needs one for lunch in her lunchbox tomorrow, it's beyond heartbreaking. When your 14-year-old just stops interacting with the world. The normal teenage problems, I don't have those with my teenager because it's not affordable for her to have a teenage meltdown. We can't. They live in this, and it's the little stuff of meeting up with friends down at the park or having friends over for play dates just isn't there, and they know it, and they've stopped asking.
What kind of rental prices are you seeing on the market at the moment?
$600 for a house, for something for me in a 3-bedroom where my kids will share, which it's fine, I shared a bedroom. It's $600 a week. And when your payment isn't covering your rent, like I lose this house, I have nowhere to go. I don't know what happens next. Like I actually can't think about it too much. I just have to pay the rent and then whatever else I can afford. So all the other budgets that you might have actually depends on paying the rent and if my kid needs medication, and then how much do I have to pay on my electricity bill that week, and then the rest goes on food. There's no wiggle room. I used to be able to save for their birthdays and Christmas, and now I can't and don't, and it's just becoming smaller and smaller, our world, and more terrifying each day. Like I actually can't sit and think about too much a plan B. I've always been a planner. I love a list. I like to organise my life and have it sorted, but this is it's too much. It's actually impacting on all of our mental health and mine particularly, but I just go on hiding it and doing the best I can because there's no one else.
It's just you doing this on your own. You've got 3 kids. How are you surviving, Angela?
We're actually not surviving. We're treading water. I literally paid the rent today, paid the money off my agreement with our electricity, and went and spent the rest I could in groceries. And that's it. And that's it. It's not survival. We're barely existing. And the next thing is my kids don't have food. I've already cut lots out. So what happens to my children? Like, where do they go? What happens? I don't have a car. We can't afford a car, so I can't even go and pretend and live in our car. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse.
Angela, you've been incredibly eloquent tonight. Thanks so much for sparing some time for us, and all the best.
Thank you.